We'll be going for good news. So, straight up, we'll look at what's happening on the good news stage.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Good news.
Well, we have some interesting things. Well, they're always interesting and good. So, yes, I begin with that. But today we'll be looking at, first off, we're starting with WETECH, Women in Entrepreneurship and Technology. And this is actually an organization that is, they're impacting and changing the lives and stories of women in Africa. They're empowering them with technological skills. They're putting them into spaces where they can work in digital spaces. One thing most often is sometimes people tend to take for granted setting skills. If you know how to work with technology or digital literacy, if you have that at your fingertips, you feel like, yeah, it's a normal thing. But when you go to certain places, not every woman knows how to use a computer. Not every woman knows how to use a mobile phone. Not every woman can easily operate any digital or technological device. So, for some of these people in some of these remote areas, it's actually like it's a huge gain when they get the opportunity to be taken through courses, to be taught not to fear these devices or not to fear the change technology brings, but to embrace it and actually write on it and bring about a change and impact into their society and also for the development of their communities. Now, one thing that women in entrepreneurship and technology, WeTech for short, what they do is they're supporting African women who are in the fields of entrepreneurship and technology. And their aim so far has been to create a network of dynamic women and leaders by giving them opportunities so that they can reach and have access to resources that will enable them develop wherever they find themselves in. So I know more of the time we tend to have most of these things coming and working and we're looking at it and stuff, but they have a goal, and WeTech so far has been working all across Africa. One thing they've been looking at is the SDG goal number 5, which is gender equality, and it's something they're working hard, striving towards, so they can bridge that gap. When it comes to women, like last time we're talking, and then I think more than I was like, for every 5 women that is empowered or that happen to be empowered, there are like 10 more out there who need to be empowered. So as much as we keep hearing of this here, that, it doesn't mean everybody has been reached. There are still more people that need to be reached. So I'm very happy with what they are doing. Now, they're also ensuring that women are more and more well represented, not just represented, well represented in entrepreneurship and technology, particularly when it comes to the management and board positions. So, look, the people are setting, let's equip you with the right tools and skills you need, and then we ensure that you get a good job, and then also ensure that you actually work in places where you can make direct decisions. So it's not a joke, or it's not just a one-timer thing. It's a lifelong thing that they are doing. So far, they've actually had 10,000 members, 3,000 mentors, and they've actually accompanied or accomplished or established 1,000 women who are in good standing. And they are also, by the fact that they've actually been lifted, also helping lift others up through the WeTech Women Organization. So you can go to www.wetech.org. Now, the WeTech, if you're spelling to search for it, is WE-tech.org, and then you just find them. You can be a part of them, you can join, you can support, and you can do a lot to help them attain the various goals they're working towards as well. One thing is the fact that they organize different empowership programs for women, entrepreneurship, technology, different programs just to empower these women and keep them going from one level to the other. Now, our next AGR Good News is taking us to Angola, where we'll be looking at Sérgio Piçarra. I just hope I'm getting the name right, though, but yeah, Sérgio Piçarra, and he won the EU Human Rights Prize. So Sérgio Piçarra is an Angolan cartoonist, and he was awarded the Franco-German Prize for Human Rights and the Rule of Law. Now, this was for his commitment to the promotion of the freedom of expression in Angola. Like, we all know how important it is when it comes to freedom of expression. Sometimes you find yourself in a country that you can say anything, freely speak, and there's no repercussion, in the sense that nobody comes after you or nobody tries to curtail that freedom. You don't tend to value it. But in certain countries, that you'd have to be careful what you say. If not, it could cost you. They value the importance of the freedom of speech. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is the first time an Angolan has won the prize. This is the very first time an Angolan has won it. Now, it's awarded every year to personalities who have made exceptional contributions to the protection and promotion of human rights under the rule of law in their various countries. So there were more than 70 entries that were received by the French and German Ministries of Foreign Affairs, and 15 winners were distinguished. From his home in Angola, Piçarra gives shape to caricatures after looking at the headlines in the national and international newspapers. So he picks his inspiration from there. He sees what they're talking about on the news, both at home and then outside, and then he picks his inspiration from there, comes up with a cartoon just to follow the line, just so that he could help attain freedom of expression. Well, speaking to him, one thing he said was that for him, it represented a way of expressing his critical view of what went on in the society, in politics, and in everything, but especially in politics, because that's the type of cartoon that is the editorial cartoon, and that is exactly dedicated to the analyst. I mean, sometimes he puts a sense of humor in there, just trying to make it satirical of political events. So we want to say a big congratulations to Sérgio Piçarra. I mean, this it's a good opportunity, but I think we've seen a couple of people also use that line to be able to tell different stories. I mean, express yourself, but not so straight coming out to speak through a microphone or something or holding a rally, but they use creative ways to try and get their thoughts of what is happening in the political sphere out there. And you get people who actually understand and can flow with it. So congratulations to Sérgio Piçarra from Angola. Now for our final good news story. So I think this is exciting when I saw it, because yeah, it's exciting. Well, UNESCO is supporting the African Union digital platform, which is basically to safeguard African journalists. How amazing is that? So we've had stakeholders in the media fraternity that have actually come together to put together a digital platform, and basically it's just to safeguard African journalists. I don't know, but if you are down here in Africa, or even if I'm sure even if you're out there, you could hear news or stuff, but it's not safe everywhere for journalists. Sometimes it's not that easy to come and do your work and go freely. Sometimes you get to have issues. So we had the former African Union President, Cyril Ramaphosa, and he pledged to support the platform through the African Union structures and institutions. Also, the former president of Burkina Faso highlighted that Africa's march towards achieving its Agenda 2063 must include the protection of a free and independent media. So this has shown in a number of supporters. I mean, we've had the African Court on Human and People's Rights, the African Union African Governance Architecture. We've also had the African Union African Peer Review Mechanism, the African Editors Forum, the International Federation of Journalists, and the Federation of African Journalists. Now, other supportive bodies that went on board to help put up this digital platform was the BBC Media Action, Article 19, the Committee to Protect Journalists, and the Free Press Unlimited, We also had UNESCO themselves coming together to also work towards it. Now, you can just go to www.safetyofjournalistinafrica.africa, www.safetyofjournalistinafrica.africa. That is the digital platform they've set up. And over there, you get to read different information. You get to find out about journalist welfare in various African countries. Where there's progress, they bring it out. Where there's issues that need to be worked upon. I mean, where you have some journalists who've been arrested, some who have been kidnapped, some who have gone missing, some who have actually been denied bail. You get to get all that information on the digital platform. But it's a place, a safe space where journalists can go and put out whatever information, whatever is happening in their country. So I think kudos to the AU, kudos to UNESCO, kudos to all the stakeholders who put this together. It's a good thing. Don't forget, you can always go to our website, www.africaglobalradio.com, and you're going to always get more of these stories. Just go find good news stories, and you'll not be disappointed.